Right, this is my girlfriend's house, and I'm videoing a Fordham P1035 siphon mechanism from the 1970s. This toilet was put in. That's what the top of it looks like. It's old-fashioned button, and there's a little plastic lever. Now, it hasn't worked for some time. Every time we tried to flush it, you had to push it several, million times just to get the thing to flush, and it wouldn't work. So what I've done, first of all, is I've drained all the water out of the cistern by putting a rubber tube down to the bottom and then siphoning it off using this thing down into the toilet. So now there's no water in there, and I've also, because I haven't got a way of turning off the water supply, because the stopcock here is in the wrong place, which is after the water supply in, which is absolutely no use to anybody. So I've managed to tie up the ball cock to the shelf here to stop the water coming in, and then I undid the screw here anti-clockwise. So I undid that screw, this one here, this nut, and I've now pulled out this mechanism that you can see here. And once I turned the thing over, you could see that the diaphragm, which is this little tiny thin piece of polythene here, has obviously completely perished, and that's why the thing wasn't working. Now, to get this bit out, I had to just flip this over, undo this little mechanism here. Okay, so that went up. I can just show you a second. This bit went up through the middle, out of this hole, and then into here. And I've managed to get a screwdriver in, twist it, and then flip this section up, which you can see there's a little fold in there. Managed to flip that section up, pull it through, and now I'm going to try and lever this off by putting a screwdriver into this part here in between the gap, and I'm going to lift this top section off and then try and make a replacement out of an old plastic bottle or something. So here goes. Right, this section here seems to be coming off quite easily. I've started it off by putting the screwdriver under here, levering this up a bit, and then I can probably just pull this from the top so that it comes out. Right, that came off really easily. I just pulled that off the top, and then this collar just slid over the top. So now I'm going to take the remnants of this out, and I'm going to try and lay it down on a bottle and then cut out a similar shape and then see if it works. Right, this is my third attempt at making a membrane for this. I've tried using the cut out bottoms from a microwavable takeaway dish, but unfortunately it was too brittle, and every time I've tried it's just cracked, and the material is too thick. So I managed to find this old folder here, where it's like a tarpaulin-y kind of plastic, where it's just about the right thickness, I think, to mimic this membrane. So I'm going to now try and use this instead and see what happens. Right, as you can see, I've drawn around the outside with a red pen, and I'm just going to cut the thing out. I've just cut out my replacement membrane from this old folder here, and now I'm going to flip this over and place this over the centre so I can get the exact centre spot for this shaft here, and then I'm going to cut it out with nail scissors. Right, I've now finished my substitute membrane on here, and first of all I cut out a centre hole with the nail scissors, then slid that over the top there. Then I've marked out these two pips here, cut those out with the nail scissors, and then now I've fitted the whole thing over the top of the plastic piece here, and I've then cut around the outside just to trim it up a bit. So that should be the finished membrane. So I'm now going to put the whole thing together and see if it works. That is the finished assembly. ready to go into the siphon housing. Right, I'm now going to attempt to push this section back into here using these. So I'll just get these jaws over the end like that and try and squeeze it together. That worked. Now I just need to fold this part over, and again I shall get the pliers on there and squish that down. Right, I've now put this back together again, and the rubber washer is the one that's closest to this side of the plastic, with the metal, looks like copper washer, above it. And as you can see, it moves quite freely. Right, I'm now going to push this assembly back in here somehow and down. There we go. I think that's the best angle. Oops. There we go. And then attempt to reconnect the lever mechanism. So I shall just push that through the bottom. See it out there. There we are. It's just nicely resting on there. I shall just do that back up again. Right. I'll have to put the camera down from this so I can hold the top. Right, I've done this nut up here hand tight. And I'm just going to tighten it just a little bit with this for luck. Alright, here we go. That's all in place now. I just need to slide this black plastic shaft down through this section here, down through this bit, and then into that. Alright, and now I shall allow the cistern to fill up with water and see if it works. Right, now the cistern's full, I shall just try it. There we go. All systems go. Just a case of putting the thing back together again now. So just put that on, and then this piece goes in here. Job done.